Hello, you guys. Yes, I am recording. Okay, so now we are going to talk about multiplying using area model. So, whoops, there we go, got my pad. We're going to use the numbers 23 times 57. Make that 5 look more like a 5. Okay, so 23 times 57. Remember that you can pause, restart this video however you need to. This is 100% for you. So we're going to start by breaking down what those numbers are into expanded form. So 23 is 20 plus 3. 57 is 50 plus 7. So now I'm going to arrange my numbers before I actually draw my box. So I'm going to say 20 plus 3. And I'm spacing them out kind of to just give us a nice little bit of space, like some nice room. And 50 plus 7. All right. So now I'm going to draw my box. You don't want to draw your box before you place your numbers because you might end up with a box that is way too big, way too small, and just all around does not match the numbers that you have. So I've drawn my box. Where I've drawn my addition signs, I'm going to draw a line across. Just like that. Okay, so now my first step is to bring, or my next step, not first step, is to bring the number that's up top straight down. So the number that's on top of this box is 20. So I'm going to put a 20. And it's going all the way down. So I'm going to put it here too. Because if I look at the very tip top of the box, there's a 20 above it. That's why it's so important to keep your work nice and organized and neat. So now I'm going to come over to this box. What number do you think is going to go in here? Well, when I look at the top of my box, I can see it is a 3. Same with this bottom box. When I look all the way up, there's my 3. All right, this next step is super tricky. You're going to put your times sign for each one. Every single one. Don't try and skip this step because then you'll just end up with a jumble of numbers. Okay, so now I've brought my numbers down. I need to bring my red numbers, my side numbers, across. So I have a 50, so I'm going to put 50 here, and I'm going to keep moving all the way across because if I'm looking at this box and I look all the way to my side, I see that that is a 50. Again, super important to keep your numbers straight and your work like neat and organized. So now I'm going to look at this box. I'm going to look to my side and I see that I have a 7. Over here at this box, I look all the way to my side and it is a 7. All right, so now we're ready to start multiplying. So let's choose a different color. Let's get something different. This one. All right, so I'm going to start with my non-zeros. This is our magic zero trick, if you remember. So my non-zeros are any numbers that are not zeros. So here I have the numbers 2 and the number 5. 2 times 5 is 10. Now I need to see how many extra zeros I'm going to have. I count 1 0, 2 zeros. So I'm going to add those 2 zeros to the very back. 20 times 50 is 1,000. Now I'm going to come over here. My non-zeros are 3 and 5. 3 times 5 is 15. Now, I'm not just going to add random zeros. I'm counting to see how many zeros are in these numbers that I'm multiplying. 3 doesn't have any zeros. 50 has 1 0. So I'm going to add 1 0 behind. Now I'm down here. I have 2 times 7. 2 times 7 is 14, and I have 1 0. My last box is 3 times 7 is 21, And I don't have any zeros attached to either of these numbers, so I don't add any zeros to the back. Now for the very last step, I'm going to go through and I'm going to add all of these numbers together. All of my answers that I got. So 1,000, I'm going to put a check mark next to it so I know that I've used it. 150 is next. Check. 140. And notice that when we go to add, we're not just like randomly putting all of our numbers over here underneath, right? That's not how we add. We are lining it up by place value. So this is our ones place, tens, hundreds, thousands. My last number is a 21. So 21 and check. Now that my numbers are all properly in their place, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to put some placeholder zeros. All right, now I can add. 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 1 is 1. 0 plus 5 is 5. Plus 4 is 9. Plus 2 is 11. So I'm going to drop my 1 and I'm carrying my 1 to the next position. 1 plus 0 is 1. Plus 1 is 2. Plus 1 is 3. Plus 0, still 3. 1 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 is 1. My comma goes right here because remember it's ones, tens, hundreds, comma. Ones, tens, hundreds, and so on and so forth. So here we can see that our answer is 1,311. Now this works for multiple digits, like any number of digits that you might have. So we're going to erase. We're going to come back and let's try it with a 1 digit times a 3 digit. So let's say we're doing 7 times 542. So expanded form is the first thing we're going to do. 7 is just the number 7. 542 is 500 plus 40 plus 2. 542. So now remember we need to line up our numbers. And I like to put my biggest number on top just because it's like more aesthetically pleasing to me personally. And my 7, of course, goes on the side. So now I can draw my box. And I want you to notice that in the previous number, or the previous problem, when we had 2 digits, we had a much larger, like longer box. Now this one's very long, but it is not super thick. So our first step is to drop down our numbers. So up top, I have a 500. I don't have any other boxes to fill in underneath, so we're just going to have the 1 500. I'm in this box now. Let me look up top. I see a 40. Notice that we're just going straight above to the box, or to the number that's directly above the box. I did not say, let me look up, and oh, there's a 500 over there. That's not what we're doing. We're just doing whatever is directly above the box. So I'm going to give you a moment. If you want to pause here, you can and catch up. All right, so now our next step, we need to put our multiplication signs. Just like that. All right, next we need to bring all the way across. So I'm in this box. When I look all the way over here to the side, I see a 7. Let me go to the next box. Look to the side, there is a 7. Go to my next box. What do you know? It's a 7. All right, babes, now we can multiply. Remember, we're going to do our magic 0 trick. So you start by underlining your non-zeros. That's what you're going to multiply. 5 times 7 is 35. And I'm going to count how many extra zeros get put onto the bottom, or to the end. 1, 2. So that's 1, 2 zeros. All right, now I have 4 times 7. That's going to be 28 with 1 0 added to the back. 2 times 7 is 14. There are no zeros behind, so we're not going to add any zeros. Now for the last step, once again, we're going to come over here and we are going to add. That color does not look great. All right, so I used my 3,500, so I'm putting a check mark. Next is 280. So that 2 in 280 goes underneath the 500. 80. Boom. Check mark. And my last number is 14. All right, I'm going to put some placeholder zeros. 0 plus 0 plus 4 is 4. 0 plus 8 is 8, plus 1 is 9. 5 plus 2 is 7. 3 plus 0 plus 0 is 3. And this is where my comma goes. Here is our answer. All right, let's do one last one. And this time we're going to do a 2-digit times a 3-digit. So let's do, let's do 23 times 298. Remember, our first step is to put our numbers into expanded form. So that's 20 plus 3. Over here we have 200 plus 90 plus 8. All right, so like I said, I like to put my largest numbers as the top, just because it looks better to me personally. You can flip it if you want. All right, so 20 plus 3. So this box is going to be larger than my other boxes. And just another reminder that you don't want to draw your box before you put your numbers, just because it will not match up the way you want it to. All right, remember your lines are where your addition signs are. And you can see that every box matches up with a top number and a side number perfectly. There's not like a random 7 here or anything like that. There's no extra numbers. I didn't put my 3 here. Like, you don't want to put it like that, because then it's not going to be very neat and organized. You're going to get confused and you're going to make silly mistakes that you could totally prevent, because you guys are going to be multiplication rock stars. So I'm going to start by bringing my number all the way down. So that's a 200 and a 200. That 0 looks kind of wonky. That's a little bit better. Here we have a 90 and a 90, an 8 and an 8. Remember, our next step is to put our multiplication sign, super duper important, so that we know what we're doing and so that we don't accidentally just put a glob of numbers or make silly mistakes. Now I'm going to bring it all the way across. So my number that's on the side goes all the way across. So that's a 20, a 20, and a 20. That's a 3, and a 3. All right, so now magic 0, time to multiply. Oof, that green is atrocious. Hold on one second, I'm sorry. Okay, that was too bright. All right, so my non-zeros are 2 times 2 is 4. And let's count our zeros that we add to the back. 1, 2, 3 zeros. 9 times 2 is 18. And let's count our zeros. 1, 2. So that's 1 0, 2 zeros. 8 times 2 is 16. And there's 1 0 that we add to the back. 2 times 3 is 6. Let's count our zeros. 1, 2. 9 times 3 is 27. That's 1 0. Oof, my hand's itchy, I apologize. 0, there we go. 8 times 3 is 24. All right, now we just have to line them up, add them, and we are good to go. 4,000, check, check. 1,800, check. 160, check. 600, check. 270, check, and 24, check. Ooh, go away, little bug. Sorry, there's a gnat. All right, and add. Put our placeholder zeros. 0 plus 4 is 4. 0 plus 0 plus 6 plus 0 plus 7. So 6 plus 7 is 13, plus 2 is 15. 1 plus 8 is 9, plus 1 is 10, plus 6 is 16, plus 2 is 18. Drop that 8, carry that 1. 1 plus 4 is 5, plus 1 is 6. So here we could see that 23 times 298 is 6,854. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have a great day.